8:14 and it's time for Island Tea. AZ, good morning. What's up?
Hey, good morning to everybody. Pleasant morning. Hoping and trusting that everyone is having an absolutely wonderful morning. It is, as you say, today is Thursday and it's 8:15. Wonderful morning to everyone. I just want to inspire and say to persons, I hope that you're having a good day. I hope that you have woken up on the right side of the bed. I hope that you're enjoying the opportunities that this morning has to offer. And the day has to offer. It is a wonderful day. A wonderful day. Of course, I want to share something with you, some positive thoughts. It says, the more you feed your mind with positive thoughts, the more you attract great things into your life. So the more you feed your mind with positive thoughts, the more you attract great things into your life. One more time, the more you feed your mind with positive thoughts, the more you attract great things into your life. Jamsa, have you been thinking positively lately, or have you been thinking positively for a very long time?
You mean if I I think positively. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
You?
Yes, I try as much as possible.
Okay.
Sometimes those negative thoughts try to foster themselves in the background of your mind. But
here's a trick. Don't think of them as negative thoughts. Think of them as think of them as maybe realistic thoughts, or you being a realist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like if you consider a particular eventuality and you try to suss out which way it could go. If you dwell on the negative, it's not necessarily you being negative. It's like you saying, well, most of the time this is the way it goes, or you know what I mean? Maybe you just being realistic.
I think you could have the conversation with our guest at 9:45 who speaks about only good things. So
yes,
that's a conversation that could be had.
This is
well,
true.
Yes, consideration. Realistic. It's supposed to be realistic and everything, but
But it's good to be. Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be positive.
Yes. Do we have?
I mean, it's like I was listening. I was thinking about. I was listening to Wussy and Jazzy D, and there was one other person. I can't remember. They're talking about Mick, right?
Yes.
And Wussy was saying, and Wussy is our new national security advisor. Anyway, so he was wearing his former member of Jazz Brass International, former bandmate with Mick Big Soaks, and he was saying, he went to see Mick.
Mm-hmm.
And he said Mick is his old jovial self. He said he went to the bathroom and he danced to the bathroom, danced his way back from the bathroom. So there's clearly someone who's probably thinking positively, right?
Yes.
I like to think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to know that when you're in a situation like that, and you try not to lose your light, you could say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing about it, when you're positive and you tend to attract, really do tend to attract good things and more positive things. What you put out is what you attract. So let's just try to attract as many good things as possible, So, do we have the guest appearance, or someone we haven't spoken with in a long time?
Candy? Well,
yes.
I was. Oh no, she's not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
The latency with. Here we go. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, the technology.
It finally came up.
Yes.
So it looks like she will be joining us.
Yeah. So.
And if she is joining us, maybe she will say hi.
Yes. Hello, Candy.
Hey.
Oh.
How are you doing?
Tired.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's good to hear from you.
Likewise.
I know.
Yes. So, have you been, I know you've been dealing with your own business, but have you been able to see some of the pictures from the Culturama festivities that we had?
Of course. And I have actually been watching the pageants. So yeah.
Well, you thought about the activities, the pageants, everything. We did a rundown on it yesterday, but it's good to get your thoughts, your
I'm
opinions.
scared.
Oh, Lord. Yes.
Let's see. So I saw the swimsuit competition.
Yes.
I looked at that for as long as I was up
Mm-hmm.
because I found that it kind of went into the wee hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was interesting. That's a nice way of putting it. Interesting. I saw the Miss Culture pageant.
Yes.
And of course, Miss Guyana won that one.
Yes. Oh, wow.
That one was also pretty interesting. I must say, I enjoyed having Junie as the the MC for one of the pageants that I looked at. Junie was just very down to earth, and I think that's a very nice way of putting it.
Oh, so I didn't imagine
if
that.
I was
then.
in that pageant and he was the MC, I think I would have had a lot of fun because he just made everything so relaxed, even when the mic cut out, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
But one of the takeaways for me was organization and presentation. I feel like we need to do a little bit more work on that. I just feel like if these are girls that we're prepping to send overseas, we need to raise the bar a little bit.
Yeah.
And for the street activities, well, that looked like fun. I was kind of missing out. I was like, geez, I wish I was over there, even if I was just on the sidelines watching. I think they did a great job with costumes and I guess road presentation. I actually saw that accident, so I hope that everybody's well recovered from that when the truck flipped. I hope everybody is well, because I am definitely a Sugarhead. I that's one of my favorite bands. So when I saw it, I was kind of all over the place, like, oh my God, I hope nobody's hurt. I hope Mention is okay. And then I saw that Dr. Drew went to visit persons there, so that was definitely a good thing. And I think it was just minor injuries. So I just hope that that's what it is, and it's not long lasting, and everybody's back on their feet and everything is back to normal. But yeah, I missed out on a bunch of stuff that was happening there. And I definitely am getting FOMO.
Yes. In fact, yesterday, as you speak about Dr. Drew, yesterday we were talking about the performance of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party in government. We gave persons the opportunity, those who wanted to participate, the opportunity to give a grade to the performance thus far.
And what was the feedback?
Well, someone gave 8 out of 10 for effort. Another person gave 6 out of 10. One gave 1 out of 10. The other person
1 out of 10?
Yes. Another
That's
person I think there were one said failing but didn't give a grade. Yeah, I think there was another one
out
though.
of 10? Wait, no, I'm curious now. So what was the 1 out of 10 for? What was the 1 for? Showing up for work? Jeez.
Yes. So that's showing up for work.
Wow.
Yeah.
But did they say why they gave these grades, or it was just like people just calling out numbers?
Well, they gave I gave them an opportunity to say why, and most of them gave their reason why. I mean, in terms of the 8, it was because he felt, if I'm supposed to capture his words correctly, he spoke about mainly the effort that they're putting in. Yeah, so that came to my mind, the effort. One person gave 6 out of 10, saying that a lot of they have planted some things. It's for it now to bear fruit, more or less. So that's for the 6 out of 10. And other persons were saying, the ones who gave failing grades, saying that nothing is being done, basically. Yeah.
Good grief. Am I living in the same place as everybody else?
So
what's your opinion? Do you think that was a bit harsh? Because I feel like that's a bit harsh.
For reasons, I will withhold my opinion right now. For reasons, for now.
You see, this is why I tell you all.
What grade would you give them?
So I tell y'all, sometimes people are unreasonable.
I kind of like
You know what I
six,
mean?
seven-ish.
Why
You know?
6 or 7? Tell us.
Because I feel like it's only been a year. They have indeed planted seeds and they're waiting to reap. And I have seen, strides. Like I have seen that they've done stuff. So it would be harsh to give a 1 out of 10 because you can see that things are being done, maybe not as fast as we want them to be, but the fact remains that, things have been done. And even though a bunch of us complain about the frequency of travel, you can see the fruit of some of those travels. So I feel like 1 out of 10 is really harsh. But then, like I said, 6 to 7, because we do want to see things happening, but maybe some of us want to see it happening faster than it really can occur.
Jamster, what about you?
He's
Putting you on
pretty
this-
quiet.
putting you-
Jamster, don't you miss me? What's happening there?
No.
I put in Jamster on the spot
I
right
actually,
now.
but you didn't hear when I spoke just now when I said I think people are unreasonable
Right to
sometimes.
Jamster.
Yeah, hi. When
Yeah,
I
he's
said,
speaking.
yeah, I was
I'm not
saying,
hearing him.
really?
Yeah, he's speaking.
That's weird. Okay, it must be a.
So go ahead, Jamster.
Yeah, so I was saying, this is why I said sometimes people are unreasonable. I mean, I'm not going to give them a 10 or anything, or
Somebody's gonna have to
or
translate
even a
for
9
them
or
and hear
8. But I
anything
mean,
you say.
1, come on. 1 is like basically,
A
it's like
number.
if you elected a boulder.
Okay,
to
a letter
run
or a
the country.
number.
A letter, probably give them a C,
Okay.
C minus.
Jamster says C minus.
C minus.
Yes, Jamster
Yeah.
says C minus.
I'm glad the two y'all not marking my papers. one wants to give an NA and the other one is saying C minus.
And I can
So
itemize
y'all
and
very harsh with school,
No,
man.
but I can itemize and rationalize.
Azard, how
that.
is grading for you in school? I don't want you to ever be my teacher.
Oh gosh, I mean,
Maybe a 6 sounds better.
Jamster, you have to. If
A
you're
5
saying,
and a half
if
or
you're
6
saying,
sounds better.
if you're saying a C minus, stick with your C minus.
Why am I not hearing him though? Like,
Yeah, that's
he's
weird.
not speaking into the mic.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
it's
hearing
not
him at
that.
all.
No, I think I know what it is, but
Yeah. He did say, he will give them a 6 out of 10 and maybe a 5.5. So I tell you, if he says C minus, stick to his C minus.
Well, see, him and I are kind of like on the same page because I said 6, 7-ish. So
Well, 5.5 and 7 to me are two different numbers. Great.
yeah, but
I said 6.
A 7,
six.
a
Didn't
7,
you say 6?
a 7 is like a B to me. Like a 70% is like a B.
You're kind of right.
Generally.
7.
Whereas I could say a 5.5 like a C minus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see a 6 as a C-ish. You
It's
know?
a C.
Yeah.
C center.
I
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
So are there still celebrations going on? Because I know that they've had different activities. I saw some of it on Facebook. So are there still things happening underground there or
Well, there was a church service on Sunday. There was a town hall. I think you were here when they had the town hall, if I'm correct. A national town hall. And
I
then
think so.
there have been, I think, in constituencies 4 and 8, could be more. There was
Like liming things,
yeah,
right?
liming
Like I
things,
saw.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is what I could recall. So yeah, it's happening.
What show did you judge for Culturama? This is like my segue. What I know you judged the show. What show was it?
The only show that I officially judged was the Mr. and Miss Talented Youth, the primary school competition. Yes.
Okay.
The others I judged from home, from the luxury of my living room with the benefit of my tablet. So I did that, yeah. But I must say that for the Miss Caribbean culture, I think that it was, fairly judged. I think that the results, were accurate. And I think that I don't think I heard anybody really complain about the end result. So kudos to Guyana for winning.
Yeah, first time.
I realize since we've been talking and you've been on the show, Guyana has been I don't know. Guyana has been, you know,
Hmm.
blazing a storm.
I definitely want you to make this presentation to the government so I can get some stuff when I go back.
Yes. Yes. And to speak about that, just yesterday we were talking about the the secondary school, the dormitory that was burnt down.
I know, like, oh
And
gosh.
the counsel for the young lady, the accused, is indicating that there is no evidence, or the evidence that, is required for the charge, that the evidence is very weak. So he's
Can we
saying,
just say I saw that article and passed it because I was like, what nonsense?
yes. So he's saying that the evidence put before the court is very weak.
Okay, so as a practicing lawyer, what's your opinion?
Well, as a
Just to be
practicing,
putting you on the spot.
I know. As I said with Jamsa yesterday, I look at the fact that, I'm not there. I haven't heard the evidence or what was presented so far in the court. I know based on law you are innocent until proven guilty. And much of what, when you're bringing a charge against someone, or if you're seeking a conviction, it is the evidence in which you present. So at the end of the day, you ought to convict based on the evidence before you. I know the prosecution really has its hands full in any matter. I always say so because the prosecution has to disclose what it is that they are going to put forth. It also,
Burden of proof is on them.
yeah, and the burden on proof is on them to prove, and it's a very high burden. It's I like to tell my students, it's like bulletproof. You need 100%. If there's even a shadow of doubt, the jury ought not to find, if there's a shadow of doubt, the jury should return a not guilty. So I mean,
Yeah.
I have always looked and said that the prosecution really has its tasks in criminal matters.
But the thing is, with cases like these that are so out in social media and everywhere else, it's gonna be difficult for any jury, even for the defense, because everybody, saw the news clips, saw the victims, saw the
Yes.
bodies. Is like, how do you come up against that?
Yes, yes. That's really why most of the times when you have these matters, persons involved ought not to. Well, you are not, if you're a lawyer or what's not supposed to be coming on the media making certain statements. In addition to that, if you're a juror, you ought not to be, taken by what you see out there, but only what is presented. But we are all human, so that is
Can I
in
also
itself.
inject an interesting fact? So shortly after this whole incident, the girl's mother was handpicked by the current government to serve on in a role in that area. I think they're calling it a counselor, which is kind of like a local government official in that area.
Yeah.
And so that also taints the water because it kind of looks as though it's for want of a better word, like a payoff situation. And so I feel like this case is going to be one whole big debacle because people are saying, of course, she suddenly got that position because the government wants to put her in a position where, they can control the outcome of the case and the situation and assist her daughter in getting off with the crime. So that has been splashed all over social media as well. So yeah. The only thing I want to be in this case is a fly on the wall because it's going to be difficult for both sides.
Yes. Also, as we talk about the performance of the government, it's 1 year. There is to be a press conference this morning by the People's Action Movement at 10 a.m.
This morning. Oh, okay.
So this morning, members of the People's Action Movement, the executive is hosting a press conference that is to be aired via Facebook page and YouTube of the People's Action Movement.
Are
So,
you able to give us any insight as to what some of the topics are? Like, why is there a press conference?
well, I think after the first year, there is something to speak about, and I do urge persons to tune in. It's all about, the first year. That's what I'm going to hint to.
So is it basically like they're doing like a review from the opposition standpoint or grading the government, or what is it something like that? Am I interpreting it correctly?
For whatever reason, we're getting some calls. You guys want to take a call?
I think I'm asking the question that everybody else want to know.
Candy, I would say that
You know, I always have 1,000 questions.
Yes.
No, because if I'm gonna log in, like, I want to know what I'm gonna be preparing myself for, like, what's happening. I'm sorry.
Yes, we have, but I would say that your mind keeps thinking, and I would say that you're thinking well. I mean, without saying more, I think you're warm.
What time is it?
10 a.m.
Wow, that's cutting it close.
Yes.
Are we bringing it as far as you know? No one's said anything yet.
Well, we have it's going to be on just those two platforms, but
okay.
The media and the press has been
invited, so
yes.
it'll still be
invited.
Covered.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So if I miss out anything, like, because I tune in late, I can always get it from the media then.
Yeah, you can go back. You can go back and watch it.
And you can go back and watch it as well.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I can also go back and check it out. So I see that we are changing our money.
Oh yes. But Jamsa was saying we had some calls.
Yeah, we have.
Let's take some calls.
No, they're not. When they call, I'll let you know.
Oh, okay then. Okay, thank you.
Because they hung up after they realized you were ignoring them.
I wasn't.
I'm just joking.
I was just trying to find a perfect segue,
Okay.
Yes. So callers, if you want to call back, call back. Candy, you were talking about the changing currency.
Yeah. I saw an article on WINNFM saying that they're having, I think people are being urged to submit ideas and opinions of what we should use on the money, because they're going to replace the queen's face / head. So and it's only because I read the article that I realized that all of these things were already on the money. So of course the first one I went to, I was like, what do we have for Sinkits? And it's like, there's Brimstone Hill under $50. So now I'm rifling through my purse now, like, wait, let me back check this money to make sure.
Yes.
But what do you think they should put there?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What do you think they should put on the money?
Something, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to say something from someone or something from Sinkits and Nevis. I'm going to be biased.
But I know, but like, I'm thinking like this is harder than we thought it would be, because what we put, I'm just glad they're not putting Charles, I'm sorry. But
don't be sorry.
But
okay,
then
we have two
if
calls.
we're moving her, what are we replacing?
We have two calls, so we're going to hear these callers.
All right, let's hear. I hope I can hear, because I wasn't hearing Jam stuff.
Caller, go right ahead.
Good morning, guys.
Yeah, I'm not hearing.
Hello?
The call is on, Candy. I'll indicate when the call is over. Yeah.
Hello?
Jenny, go ahead. We can hear you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm glad you guys are touching, the issue with the removal of the Queen from our currency. Now, there's a lot to talk about, guys, and since Candice has opened that, I'm going to go on to what is taking place in Niger. Now, we have France, we have America, and we have NATO. Now, from what Emmanuel Macron is saying, and I think Joe Biden is also echoing those same rhetoric, that they will not allow anything or anyone to interfere with their interests. I put a blog on social media, Facebook, and I asked the question, what have France, America, planned on the continent of Africa and watch it grow to become their interest? Now, in the year 1961, the France had, I think, 14 African countries sign a new pact for colonization, where 85% of their GDP goes to France Central Bank. And if the Africans want to borrow, they will borrow at 20% interest rate of their own money. The whole thing is so jokey, right? And it is continuing. Now let us look at what is happening with the ousted president, Mohamed Bazoum. The people are saying that they are not happy with his performance because, in their opinion, he is just being there as a puppet. Now, we have had coups on the continent before, and I think it was about, for the last 2 years, I stand to be corrected, I think there was at least 6 coups, even including our neighbor, the president of Haiti. And in these coups, these presidents were assassinated, and outside powers was behind it. Now, President Bazoum is alive. I think the president of Guinea is also alive today. Guys, I've been saying, right, that change is unstoppable. But you know what is sad about all this? Here we have Nigeria president as the chair of ECOWAS. And I think he is so afraid, guys. This is my opinion. I think he is afraid because he is like, he's being pressured by outside forces. And I think I came across a clip that says that the President Biden telling him something like, interfere with American interests and go and face jail term. I mean, what? How do these interests become theirs? Guys, I am saying, right, we cannot any longer stay silent and just look at these events happening and feel that because we are small down here in these parts, we cannot do anything. I am saying to us, social media can be used as an instrument in the sense that we can use the knowledge that we know and let our voices be heard. Social media can be bigger than BBC, CNN, and Fox News. We have to reach our people. Now, I'm going to finish now by saying this, guys. We don't have weapons of death in the sense that we know our Boko Haram and those who are killing their own. Sadly, the weapons that they have, they are not high-tech weapons. And these are the things that the France military troop, America military base, and all of the foreign power military base that are on the continent, they have their high-tech weapons. They have the drones, they have the... Our weapon can be knowledge and unity. They cannot eradicate us. If they drop their nuclear bombs, it would affect them too. But we know they are narcissists. Just like how they did with COVID, they were willing to take out their own as well. Guys, I am calling on all of us. We have work to do because the future is ours. We are in the age of Aquarius and we are no longer on the Pisces. I want us to be aware, become knowledgeable of who we are, because you see, they are afraid of us. But because of their weapon of death and their genocide and all that they did to our people, they struck fear in us. False evidence appearing real. And it is real because they gave it to us in Christianity, or Christendom. I'll pause for now, guys, and I'll listen to hear what others have to say.
Okay, thank you for your contribution, Journey. So, yes. Candy, did you get a chance to listen?
Yes, I did hear quite a bit of what he said. And I must admit that I do agree with some of the points that he made. Yes, I did. As it relates to Nigeria, as it relates to Mali and Niger, I must admit that I can agree with some of his points. Of course, we all don't see eye to eye and everything, but I do agree with some of his points. I'm kind of shocked at Nigeria's response, but then, like he said, it might have been fair on their part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Yes.
the whole thing that's happening over there, it is going to have a lot of backlash and repercussions, and kind of just hoping for the best, whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course there's more to it than we are seeing from our end, and I guess from what the world is seeing, because people are using social media for different purposes, and of course the media. I don't think that the media is unbiased. I
Mm-hmm.
think that some of what we're getting is being controlled. So yeah, let's see how that plays out. That's as much as I want to say on that.
Yes. Wonderful. So we have two calls. We'll take. Oh, go ahead. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, guys. How you guys doing today, man?
Good. Good. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Um, yeah, we out here, and I just wanted to big up Journey, man. You know, he was just on, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I want to absolutely agree with him this morning, man. What he has said just now, he's totally on the money. You know, we black people, man, we just got to get together, man. We got to unite. You know, too long that these guys has just been reaping out the resources out of Africa, and everybody's in Africa except us, man. The Caribbean region, we're not really together at all. Look at Trinidad. Trinidad's gone on forcing relations with Ghana, but when it comes to these type of issues, every Caribbean island, they're trying to go individual. That's not going to work, man. I mean, if we have natural resources in Africa or we trade in the Caribbean, it can't just be one island trading with Africa. It can't be. It gotta become a collective effort, man. We got the OAS or whatever, the OECS or whatever, and CARICOM. You know, those bodies in the Caribbean, they gotta come together and they gotta unite. You know, just as well as the coup in Niger, over in Haiti, we watching Haiti suffer through their assassination. You know what I mean? The contrast is in Niger with this coup that's happened now. Is going to open up people's eyes, and it has already. The coup has already occurred, but it wasn't a bloody coup. So it's some comparisons that we got to make. In Haiti, the outside forces is the one that's taking out our leaders when we put them in. In Niger and around the region, around the region there in Africa, those other coups that had happened, is the coup is happening from within. Yeah, and that's what they don't like to see. We're starting to move. We're starting to uprise. You know, in Africa, things is going to change. It must change, man. You hear what Journey says? Change is inevitable. It's going to come. It's not. They can't really stop it. It's just that social media time now. The rest of the world, people are able to get the information more readily now. This was not back in the days. You see what happened in the Arab Spring uprising? This coup in Niger could have sparked such events, but black people are still sleeping. Really and truly, in my opinion, since they had that coup in Niger, they should have already had like 1 to 3 coups around in them different countries around Niger. But there has been a few coups before recently, and so you can see a trend is starting to develop. So I want to pick up Journey, man. Journey, you got the narrative right, man. I want to pick him up, really. And we out here on the international scene, we're watching this very closely because I don't see how America, France, and these other colonialist masters and stuff, how could another man's country be their interest? You know what I mean? But this is one to watch, man, and it's very fascinating to see what's going on. You know, the Caribbean region got to start this trade with Africa, man. We gotta get some of our own resources in our own land. Everybody else is in Africa except us, man. But You guys have a good day, man. I'll keep listening.
Thank you so much. So,
Yeah, you're welcome.
any more
Yeah.
calls? Okay. Yes. Candy?
We have another one.
No, we don't. Not at this time.
I kind of like the way he phrases it. It's fascinating to watch because honestly speaking, I've been following it since the beginning. And if I can be very frank, I was very appalled at France's response because what do you mean you're not leaving, and if you leave it's gonna cost you? Hello?
Yeah.
What? And it reminds me so much of Haiti. I was very happy when the last caller, compared it to Haiti. I saw that Kenya is getting troops ready to go into Haiti and Jamaica is back on board. But when he said Haiti, like that's all I could think about when I saw this whole Niger thing happening, where France is saying we can't leave. If we leave, it's gonna cost us too much money, and they're not really prepared to leave. Like, what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the nicest way possible I can put it.
Yes. Indeed.
I don't know. And then, when he said change is going to come, the first thing that popped into my head, you saw that whole brawl in Montgomery, right?
Oh gosh, yes.
The chair.
At first, I must admit, I see everybody posting this cheer this, cheer that, cheer this, cheer that. And I said to myself, what am I missing? And so I went and Googled it, and only to see the brawl with the chair. But
Wow.
the fact that
I saw it the very next day.
Mhm.
I was just like, I kept looking at this. I was like, is this real? Because, sometimes they do these crazy things on social media just for the likes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I saw it everywhere. And then just last night I saw another one, but it was just kind of one-on-one. And of course there was a folding chair involved, but not to stray from the topic. But soon as he said change has to come, that the song just popped in my head, because they put that song to the whole brawl.
Oh,
I don't know
a
if you
change
guys
gonna
touched
come.
it.
That song,
Right.
that song when he said change gonna come, that song popped in my head too. But
Yeah, and that's the song they're using for the brawl. But I think they might be onto something, because more and more persons are waking up and realizing their worth, and they are not willing to let things just operate the same as they were before.
yes.
So it's gonna be a couple interesting few days.
Indeed. It's gonna be interesting.
Were you guys even able to discuss the brawl though? Because I'm sure Jamster. I'm surprised he didn't send it on our group chat.
He did. Oh, he didn't. He mentioned it yesterday to me. He's like, with so many things we could talk about, but we didn't speak on it on the show. But yeah, it's something that I'm sure. It just, looking back at it, because when you look at the brawl, it just seemed, for me, I didn't understand what it was about. Just looking at the video, I read the articles to get an understanding of what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of it? What are your
Well,
thoughts?
I just thought it was just mad in terms of everyone just being a part. It just seemed, as you said, unrealistic. It seemed like something that was planned,
We gotta get some of our own resources.
Very enough. Very
Yes.
enough.
And just looking at this article, I see now that in St. Vincent, and I think, yesterday, it says a woman jailed for strangling 83-year-old man to death. Oh, we have a call. Caller?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Jamster, this one is for you. You get a lot to beat up about racial identity. I'm going to tell you something. The importance of racial identity. And this is with language. I had a conversation with an Inca youth in New York City, Long Island. We spoke for about maybe 2 or 3 hours. He was 18 years old. He then looked at me and asked me, what is my language? Now, for 3 hours, we were talking in English. I understood what he meant. I tried to get out of it. In my embarrassing state, I said to him, my language is a mixture of English and the African language. His reply was, Rasta, so you're a British colony. He went on to tell me the same thing happened to many of his people. Finally, he said, Rasta, you don't look like no Englishman to me. I am saying that to say, in the United Nations, when the head of state for Russia or any foreign country address the assembly in their language, it is not because they cannot talk English, French, or Spanish. It is because when you talk to your people, you address them in a like language. The fact that we speak English, which is a foreign language to us, is evident that we are lacking a lot when it comes to our own identity. The schools actually should be teaching at least Kiswahili, a language that we, when we look in the mirror, the language reflects who we are. Have a good day. This is for Jamster.
Okay, thank you for your contribution. Yeah, so in terms of the brawl, it says here, and it says different articles have a different viewpoint on it, but you know that it says, trying to find, it says this one here might not be the best one. This one here is from a black perspective. It seems like, they're talking about the brawl, and they said white men attacked a black dock owner over access to a boat parking spot last Saturday, August 5th, ignited a fervent response from various bystanders who quickly jumped into action. This scene garnered international headlines and memes aplenty as social media users celebrate the 16-year-old black Aquaman who swam to the scene to defend the dock worker and everyone else who joined forces. But the internet has appointed the unnamed black man equipped with a white folding chair as the most iconic fighter of the brawl. The chair was quickly adopted into a variety of memes, art form, merchandise, and even tattoo. Wow. Overnight, the folding chair has become the emblem of the brawl that called so many into action in defense of a black man who was abused for simply doing his job, and also a broader echo of black strength, unity, and liberalization in the face of centuries of white brutality that enabled this violent attack to kick off in the first place. The article goes on further. What are your thoughts on that?
Me or Jamster?
Either one of you.
I read it. I read it on several what do you call them, platforms. I've read it on I've seen it on the news. I've seen it on Instagram, Twitter, the works. Honestly speaking, they got what they deserved. I saw the whole thing from I guess from whatever everybody's seen as the beginning. They parked in a spot. The guy is trying to do his job and tell them, you can't park there. This boat is coming in. I think the boat was called Harriet too, and they refused to move. Typical entitled behavior. I actually think that one of them came off of his pontoon with the chair that ended up being the chair. So honestly speaking, from what I've seen, they got what they deserved. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not I'm not upset. I'm actually happy to see that type of unity because it has been too long for them to push this entitled behavior. Not necessarily happy with what happened with some of the women, but they were in the thick of it. So if you're gonna throw hands, then you gotta expect to collect some hands as well. So that's my piece on it. I'm not sorry it happened.
Fafo.
Hopefully,
She didn't
it
hear me.
leads to more
She's
eye
still.
openings for people like us.
Candy, you hearing me?
It was a little bit crazy,
Oh,
but
wow,
if
she's
you're
still
gonna
hearing me.
start something, then be prepared to deal with the consequences. The guy was doing his job. So
Yes.
yeah. I see one of our social media commenters saying why we're not commenting on what the caller said. I'm not sure she's referring to the last caller, but something that he said struck out to me when he said we're not using our language, because my question would be, what's our language? Take into consideration that a lot of persons are, from different parts of Africa and now scattered throughout the Caribbean. So how do we know which language we should be embracing, or is the caller saying we should embrace all? That is if in fact the person, that's what the comment is about. But I think you heard more of it than I did, so I don't know if you want to comment.
Well, I think that we answered. You when this is the last call, the very last caller. I think when he was speaking, the very last call, he spoke about, Jamsa getting bashed for certain viewpoints in terms of, I think he meant the racism thing. Of course, I know that racism exists. I know that it will be foolish not to say that it does exist. Whether or not I am going to allow the fact that it exists for me to exhibit the same thing that I look down on, then no, I am going to see persons as persons, recognizing that it does exist, but I'm not going to hold in my heart any animosity or any bad will for anyone just because of the color of the skin. Because if I do that, then the same way I wish for persons not to view me like that, I will be doing the exact same thing to others. So of course I know that it exists, but I'm not going to look at persons solely based on the color of their skin. I will look at the character of that individual.
Calls.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm not sure about the racism part. It does exist. Sometimes it's in places where it really shouldn't be.
It does exist.
For me, I like to judge every situation, as they say in law, every case turns on its own merit. So I like to judge every situation as it occurs.
It's like, for example,
Guys, we have a call.
Oh, we have a caller.
Yeah.
Caller, you're live. You're live on Island T.
Hi, caller.
Good morning again. I just wanted to get back in after that guy just made that comment about language. Like he said he was directing that at the guy named Jamster, but we didn't get a response from him. Is there any way we could maybe have a small answer back to him? Because my thing is, right, Jeffrey Handley, who's Minister of Education, he said that he's going to make some changes, but we haven't really heard him on the air about the changes that they're making in the educational system. And that's important because, they're teaching the kids in school in St. Kitts and Nevis Mandarin, but the guy that just came off talking about language, these are the narratives that we need to hear going forward, because he's trying to point out to you guys that we need to be talking in our own language that, we were deprived of when we got transferred over here during slavery. Now is the time period where we should be going back to our roots. We are teaching Mandarin in the schools in St. Kitts and Nevis, but we are not trying to teach not even one African dialect.
Thank you.
And there's Nigerians, there's African people that's living inside St. Kitts and Nevis. You know what I mean? We need to bridge that gap, man. These are the things that we want to hear. And concerning the Nigerian leader, the ECOWAS had put him up there to, come against his own brothers in Niger. It just seems like he himself, he's under scrutiny in his own country, in Nigeria. So he got to be careful, because he might be the next one that's going to be ousted, because they have a court case that's going on over there about the last election. It doesn't seem like he won that election fairly. He himself might be a puppet that's put there by America. But, we need to start teaching our own language in school and make some changes in the curriculum in schools there in St. Kitts and Nevis. Thanks, man. I'll listen again. Thank you.
Thanks for your contribution. We have other callers? Okay.
Okay, I think we need to take a break. We'll take a quick commercial break.
Okay, no problem.
We're going to come back with Candy. Nice to have Candy.
Yes. It's good to have you, Candy.
Although she can't hear me. She's smiling. How come she's smiling? Okay, coming back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Enjoy your summer with the Bank of Nevis Limited. It's that time, and the bank has the perfect summer loan package for you. Take a vacation, enjoy a staycation, advance yourself academically, or prepare your children for back to school. It's your choice, with up to $30,000 unsecured loan with an attractive low interest rate. Additionally, up to 5 years to repay. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Offer ends September 30th, 2023. Bond strong.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
The biggest party in sport is back for 2023. And the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots will need your support at Warner Park. CPL will be bigger, better and louder than ever before. And this year, the Patriots are ready to bounce back and claim the title once again. The games are between the 23rd and 27th of August. Get your tickets now at cplt20.com. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Oh, we're back. Yes. So we've had some, very interesting deliberations, discussions this morning, various topics, and we're just, trying to keep the fort and see what's going on, not only here in St. Kitts and Nevis, but, the world wider stage. And a lot of persons have so many opinions on the things that are going on today. So I just want to say, continued thanks for those persons who listen to the program, those persons who continue to call in, those persons who contribute to the discussion. Your views are appreciated. Your views are being listened to. So I want to say thank you to you for, continuing to support and listen.
Jamsa, are you going to comment? Because at least three persons now have asked for your
feedback. But I was actually unsure what he wanted me to comment on, to be honest, because actually I was
hear him.
Yeah, I was trying to, I was working on this thing easy.
Yes.
So
yes, he has been.
I didn't really get the point of what what was directed at me exactly. That's why I haven't commented. So I don't know if Messiah wants to call back and clarify, because I'm not sure. I heard what he said, but because I was kind of preoccupied, and also I didn't fully understand what exactly was directed at me. So let's take another call. Caller, okay, that no call at the moment. It's 9:09. I don't know why. I still don't know why Candy isn't hearing me. It's very strange.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, here we go with another call. Caller, go right ahead.
Jumpster, I heard you said something when the guy said that we should start speaking or learning or teaching the curriculum or language of an African language in the school, and you said you agreed.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Africans speak in Sankis that you know that they're African but they always use English, they seldomly use their language? I asked a Nigerian this question on WhatsApp already. I said, why is it that when you have two Africans walking together, they don't normally speak in their language like you would have two French people or two Spanish people? And you know what she said to me? She said, in Africa, there are so many different languages that English unifies everyone. So you might find somebody who speaks Yoruba or another one. They come together. They might not know the Yoruba language, as the other one might know another language in the tribe, but they know English. So that's why they normally use English. So to go say, or teach a curriculum, even the Africans seldomly use their own language when they're working together. So it would be almost, in a sense, useless, because you have to, by chance, meet a Nigerian, meet a Ugandan, meet a Tanzanian, or whatever you call them. So that's one of the reasons why they normally use their own our language instead of their language when they're walking together.
Well, try this on for size. We've been independent since 1983, yet we have.
They use a common language.
Wait, tell Candy. I'm giving him an analogy.
Candy Jamsa is speaking right now.
Yeah,
I heard him.
Okay.
Oh, she heard. Okay, good. So I'm giving. Yeah, okay. So. Okay, where is that coming from? Okay, so here's an analogy. It's how absurd colonialism is. And in a weird way, the colonialists don't want to let go. We've been independent since 1983, yet we still call our police force the Royal St. Kitts Nevis Police Force, Her Majesty's Prison. We still have the Queen. We still have the Queen on our money, and I could go on and on. My point is, if we were truly independent, why would we have a Governor General that represents a Queen?
But again,
no, wait, let me finish. So, my point is, all of that stuff is useless to me if we were truly independent. So I think just to reclaim a bit of ourselves, even if they think it's useless, we should be learning an African language before we learn any other language. I'm sorry. Okay. Before we learn Chinese. You can't tell me that Chinese has more utility than English. We already know English. So if we're going to learn another language, a lot of us know Spanish and French. Learn an African language. Learn the African language that most Africans can cross speak, meaning maybe Swahili or something. I don't know.
Let me ask you a question, Jamster.
Yeah.
Which one, Jamster?
Yeah, but even so, Jamster, do you know Spanish?
If I know Spanish? Well, you always caping for the other people,
No.
man.
Do you know Spanish?
I would say I wouldn't say. Well, I know some Spanish.
Do you know some French?
I know some French.
Okay. When you're looking at things, even in your own perspective, have you ever even tried to learn an African language by Googling it or anything like that?
Actually, yes, I have.
Okay.
My kids all have African names, and that was by design.
Okay, then. Okay.
They have 2 names each, and they're all African.
Okay, good. In addition to your comment with the head of state and everything like that, I myself has said, it's time for us, I believe in a republic, St. Kitts and Nevis. And the removal of the Queen as our head of state, all it takes is for us to do that. So it's us.
No, but,
we are the ones.
I never understood. I mean, coming up, I never understood. But if we're independent, why is this lady the head of state? And now this guy.
It's for us to make the decision.
I just never understood that.
That decision
Which means we're not independent.
That decision lies within us.
Why
in fact, even if I'm looking at it from a
legal
standpoint.
If we're going to talk about things having utility, what was the utility of that? Because we have. She's the head of state, but yet when we travel to the UK, they treat us like. Look at what happened to the Windrush people. We travel to the UK and they treat us like garbage. So what was the point of all of that? It makes more sense.
Can I chip in just for a second before we segue? Do you guys know how many different languages are spoken on the African continent?
Yeah, I know.
More than 15.
No, it's like hundreds.
So
it's
my
hundreds.
question is, which one are we going to select, and based on what? Because like I would have stated earlier, we are supposedly Africans scattered abroad. When they brought the slaves, they did not take them from just one section of Africa. And even some of the students that you see in Africa that are from Nigeria, they all speak different dialects based on the tribe that they are from, that their ancestors are from. So how do we choose which language? That's one. And somebody on the comment section has made a very good point. The languages that are being taught in school are the languages that are widely spoken. So it's making it easier for persons in school and those coming up to be able to do business internationally and abroad, because these are the languages that are more widely spoken. For instance, Mandarin, Spanish,
but Mandarin
French.
is only widely spoken in one country.
Mandarin is more widely spoken in the world
in one
than probably
country.
even English,
In
just
one-
because
but in
of
one
the
country.
Chinese population that exists in the world. So I am not against teaching an African language, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that some more thought has to be put into it before we can even jump on this bandwagon. Which one do we choose? Why do we choose that one? And is this a language that we will be able to do business with, and for us to travel and get easy access with? So that's just my thought.
Let's take another call.
Yes.
Caller, go right ahead. These things are always.
Yeah, let me.
Yeah.
Go ahead to what Jamster was saying. He was about to overthrow the queen.
The fact that we, as African people, can only
I think
speak
you guys know that I'm
English
all for
is
us
evident.
doing away with the monarchy. Could we have
That
a whole
we
show on that?
were colonized
But I
and
think it's more
enslaved
than that.
by
It's
Britain. It
us
is a
wanting
fact.
to
A
be able to
people
create our
without
own
knowledge
identity. And
of
how do
their
we go about
language,
that? Because you
culture,
can't
and
completely
religion
isolate yourself.
is
So.
like a tree without roots. Now, a common language, Google it, throughout Africa is Kiswahili. The languages that the sister just mentioned is all the masses' language. So we have been made capable of communicating and doing business only with our enslavers. What is wrong with we reaching out, looking into ourselves and learning the African language so we can now go and do business where all the world resources be? If you think or listen to the communication, you must agree there is something missing in our... Now, let me go. When I mentioned before, I said I was having a conversation in English with an Inca Indian. We spoke in English for 3 hours or more. He then asked me, what is my language? It couldn't be English. We spoke in English as a common means of communication. But then, without a language of my own, I have only the master's identity. We need, actually, to find ourselves.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I mean...
But you see I was right about Swahili. Candy, too.
Candy, can you hear now? Hello?
Candy, you can hear?
My audio on Zoom is horrible, so I'm having to do... I'm having to do a back and forth, so apologies to any caller that I might have cut off.
No problem. Okay, we have another call.
We have another caller now.
Caller, go right ahead.
Morning.
Hey.
Youngster, it's time to stop blaming the colonials now, man. Because then, look, as you said, look how long we have independence.
Yes.
Right? Come on, when we going to stop blame the colonials? You see, the thing with us, right? We don't want to be under them, but we want all the benefits. We want all the benefits It's just like back then in slavery time when the master gives the people the slave, then they free paper instead. They run for the hills.
Well,
They stay right on the plantation and work for master still.
We still haven't had all the benefits, though, right? Because we haven't gotten reparations yet. So that would be all the benefits. So
before you go, right? I had the discussion, and of course
we have some.
You still on the line? You still on the line?
Yes.
Yes, many, and of course, I'm all for African heritage. I'm all about being proud African and everything like that, being black and being aware. But the thing about it, many persons call, right, and they express a view about going back to Africa and stuff like that. But if you were to ask them, I'm sure many of the persons, whether they have ever been to Africa, many of them say no, but they have been to the U.S. They have been to so many other countries.
Exactly, and they didn't know how we to go Africa. As much as they talk about Africa, they didn't know how we to get there, and they would have gone already.
So that's what I'm saying. Yes, it's good to be proud, but let's individually, the movement has to start with oneself.
Which is why we shouldn't be learning Mandarin first in the schools. I don't even see why they have to be teaching Mandarin to begin with. But anyways, I guess.
Anyway, Jamster, give the colonials a break now.
I guess I'm always just remember.
How difficult it is to speak Swahili.
Yeah, just remember that. Just remember that the Chinese are the new colonials, huh? Just remember that.
Yes.
Just remember the Chinese. The Chinese are the new colonizers. So as long as y'all know that.
Yeah.
But you see. And you're very wrong to sit there and let them come on to be now the new master. Imagine that.
And we have to keep an eye on the Indians too. I'm just saying. The people don't like it, take me off the radio.
So what I'm saying, I mean, yes, we are to be proud of ourselves, what we come from. We've been through a lot. We're really strong people. But again, in terms of the changes that we want to see in others, and let us, look at ourselves and see what have we done to make that change. What have we done to show that we are proud as well as individuals.
Somebody's asking if Jamster knows how to speak Swahili.
They're really missing the point, aren't they? Let's go back to the phone lines. Call already.
But do you guys?
We have a call,
Candisie.
A call. Yeah.
We have a call.
Now, the statement Azard made about many of us who are talking about Africa and we've been to America and Europe. I'm guilty of that, Azard. But here's the thing, right? Remember, the continent was painted as a dark, stricken poverty continent. And yes, many of us are attracted to what glitter. I mean, it's even in the scripture. Follow me on this, guys, and I'm going to finish soon. Didn't the enemy took Jesus on a pinnacle and show him all the glory, everything that glittered? I stated earlier that Joseph Burrell says Europe is a garden and the rest of the world is a jungle. Now, here's the thing, right? To the point you make, Azard, everything is skewed against us going to the continent. We have to go to Europe and America. Now, look at the inaugural flight that we had from Lagos to Antigua. Sadly, Azard. Now, that gateway would have been a plus for us. But, sadly, what took place in that. But I'm saying to us, Azard, all of us want to go, and that is why we always say, I've been to America, I've been to Europe, and we say it with so much pride. But none of us want to go because they painted the continent as a dark, poverty-stricken continent. But that's not the case.
But Johnny,
they do all that because of the resources that are there, and they don't want us to connect with it.
Johnny.
No, yeah.
Before you go on, there has been some negative light shed towards it, but I think even as adults and persons who make plans in terms of visits, make plans in terms of vacation, how many of our people really make plans and say, well, my next vacation, I'm going to Africa. So we must first deal with ourselves and deal with our own mental awareness.
Azad, let me finish this quickly. There's a level of fear there's a level of fear from what was painted. All the killing, the poverty, and diseases, that is a fear, it's a mental fear. No, there are initiatives, there are organizations that are organizing tours for people, even right here in St. Kitts and the British Virgin Islands. There's a yearly tour that goes from I'm not really that versed on this initiative, but I think it's based in the British Virgin Islands. And it's very pricey, Azard. It's almost $10,000 on this trip. But I am saying that, the mental fear is always there. And like I said, a gentleman asked me on a different radio station, about going to if he can just get up and go. I said to him, do not go on your own unless you have arrangement. Everything that is, you have people that you can trust. Because there are characters there who would try to exploit you when you get there because they have an eye that you are coming from outside of the continent. These are factors we have to look into. Because apart from what they showed us with all the poverty, the skeleton youths with flies eating out their eyes, that plays a role in the mental fear that they gave us.
Johnny, let me ask you a question. It might be one. Yeah. Are you afraid of going to Africa?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, Azard.
Okay. Okay, so
yeah.
Because you might answer my follow-up question. Have you been to Africa?
No.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to going there, Azard. And I don't want to go to Europe or America. I might have to, because I'm looking forward to going there in 2025.
Okay.
But I'm saying, Azard, all of these things are skewed against us because of our it's our birthright. They don't want us to connect with it. So yes, they paint a picture. Azard, this thing is deep, eh? It is so deep, but at least we are talking. Because we have to earn what belongs to us. Because they have generated generational wealth for their unborn. So what is wrong with us claiming what is rightfully ours? Now, respectfully to the sister who just called in from Connecticut, from Canary, I heard her said a couple months ago that she wished that she were lighter in complexion, Azard. Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything came from blackness. The universe is black. Inside the womb of the woman is black. So the Creator created in darkness, because the womb, inside the womb of the woman, we are the most powerful color, in black. And they put us to hate it. Look what they did to Michael Jackson. I'll finish here, Azard. Thank you for hearing.
Thank you for your contribution, Journey.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Candisie, you have anything you want to weigh in? Okay.
Wow. I just want to alert Journey that he has kind of contradicted himself a little bit, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, for those listening, I've been to Africa, well, at least Uganda, and I've been to the US as well.
Lucky guy.
Nice.
We have another call.
Yes.
Caller, go right ahead. It's 9:28
I
Island
wanted
T.
to visit Nigeria and South Africa.
Hello, good morning to everybody there on the panel. Yes. How are you all to the Thursday? Thank God.
You know what?
Happy
Can I swallow that comment?
Because
Candy, we have a caller, Candy.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah. Candy's virtual, so she might not hear at times when we have a caller. So apologies for her. So go ahead, caller.
Yes, I said thank God it's Thursday. Hope you had a good time after that long holiday.
Oh yes, I rested.
Yes, I'm so
I hope you did as well.
Mm-hmm. It's out there this morning. I don't know how to journey. Here over there in some country. Oh, I got some of the pregame fire and burning up and thing. We ain't burning up here. We're so happy. Look, I just rise up on my bed. Thank God for this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm a poor woman, but I feel rich. I don't got to go down to and put in out a plate and say, please for a dollar, please for this, you know.
And you know, you
Something
said
over
that.
the
You
other,
said that,
satisfy
right?
his
And
life.
you said that, and what
And
comes to my
that's what we
mind?
need to do, satisfy.
Yeah, you
And we
said
come-
that, right? And what comes to my mind is the appreciation of what we have here as well. I mean, St. Nevis, we have so much to appreciate, you know, that we are
About-
self-governed.
Yes, because look, I'm a poor woman up here in a good place house in like I'm in a hotel.
Yes.
And I don't know every man he come with this kind of syndrome, bro, oh, we need and black and black. Well, let me tell you, Azard, I don't really go out to often now because I ain't doing a little business like before. But if you saw me, you saw me the last
Yes,
year,
I saw you sometime before, and you looked at as happy as
I
ever.
like you. I like you. I mean, rubbing me, doing nothing because I'm in a cool place. I get in my nice cool east breeze.
Yes.
And I'm comfortable. What more want? I know me, I'm going to get rich. And before I die, so why worry and die in a hurry?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
not going to kill myself, to mind myself. I'm feeling happy.
Yes.
One thing, when you have a satisfied mind, you may not know who's going to bring your bread tomorrow, but you know, you ate something today, right?
Yes, yes.
And put up some. You eat, if you cook, you a little bit of food, you put up some, and tomorrow you still have that same food, but you don't know what happened to fast food. No, me want that. Yeah, that last night. Them things there. What happened to your breadfruit? Anything you go look for your breadfruit, your pear, your mango.
Yes.
You know, make you happy.
Yes.
Right? Because you know the fast food, want fast money to have big money into, you know. You know, you order something from Domino or them, you got to pay the delivery, right? To deliver, right? You can stop in your bed and say, oh, I want this with that in it, tap in, and I want that tap in it. You better have your tap in money and the delivery come.
You sound like you do it a lot.
Hello?
You sound like you do it a lot.
I don't deliver. That's why I say go to my breadfruit, the old style, the breadfruit.
Anyway,
you cut breadfruit, you roasted it.
Yeah, we're
and you have to let it there. You get piece of mackerel.
Yeah, thank you.
Boil it, get piece of mackerel, you let them say it. And dry potato.
Yes.
The young people can't tell them go to eat some piece of dry potato. You want that?
Colin, we're going to take a short break now. We're going to take a short break, but it's so good hearing from you this morning.
Happy the lady from Connecticut and lady guy there from Challengers gives a break, but black and white. I don't even know who black no from who white, so we all are one people.
Yes. Thank you. Good morning. We're going to take a short break and then get back with this show. And I would have to step up now, but we'll continue the discussion with Jamster and Candy. Yes.
I would have to step
Found the sound 98.9 Win FM.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices, Rams is always here. We want your loyalty, Rams is always here. We are community, we are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
Hey kids, drink healthy!
Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors, drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy, drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy
Jamster, can you say something so I can hear you?
Okay, can you hear me? You hearing me?
Yeah, I'm not hearing you at all, Jamster.
I do not understand.
Jamster, can you say something so I
Very,
can hear you?
yeah, it's very strange.
I'm hearing
Oh,
you
you hearing
good,
me now?
basically.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's 9:35 now, and we like we were telling you guys last night. I was telling you guys. Only Good News started back on two Thursdays ago, and so we're gonna have Enoite should be showing up in about 10 minutes. But hopefully, if he has to show, he has to show up in about 12 minutes or 8 minutes, so that he's here in time for 9:45. Because I really think he has a great show, and it really would be nice to get more people
You're
listening.
counting him down seriously.
Huh? I'm counting.
I've actually been on the show before.
You were? Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I've actually featured on Only Good News before.
Okay. Was I producing,
Yes.
or was it Trent? We had so many great shows that sometimes like some people we had twice. We had Winniel. In fact, we had Winniel again when the show
I'm trying
resumed.
to remember.
Winniel was the first guest when it resumed 2 weeks ago.
Saw that.
So, I meant to tell you guys a story. So, yesterday I was looking.
I think he had Jonathan.
Yes, he had Jonathan last week. We have some clips. He's gonna have some clips from both shows. So here's the funny thing. Yesterday I was researching why. Well, I was trying to get the road match results for Antigua, right? So I spoke to Vernon, and he told me where to find them. But hear this. They have three co-winners. They all had the exact number of plays on the road, 25 plays each. So they have yes. So they have 3 road match winners. It's Ricardo Drew, Claudette Peters, and what's her name? Empress. Crazy, right? The exact number of plays, 25 plays each. So
How do you get 3 winners? Like, come on. Isn't that weird though?
Well, I mean, we just started doing it a little differently. Might have been a year or 2 ago, where I think they actually judge the performances, where it's not just a matter of plays, like going around and counting the plays. Whereas I think in Antigua, they just do it based on plays. So in a sense, maybe our system is arguably better, you think? Shouldn't we change it? Because, I mean, 3 songs...
Well, if you're not going to end up with 3 winners, or if there's a tiebreaker in place, then we definitely...
But, I wouldn't be surprised now if maybe because of this, they might put in place some kind of tiebreaker going forward, because that's kind of... I don't want to say weird. It's not weird, but it's unusual, 3 songs with the exact same number of plays, 25 plays. So interesting.
I like unusual.
Yeah, unusual. Yeah, unusual, because I mean that's not something you see.
I like the
often.
use of the word unusual.
Yeah, I mean it's like with Trinidad. Like I noticed. Okay, like let's say Hardfet had 60 plays. The second song was like 25 plays, right? So it was kind of unfair. I mean, you're like second by a country mile.
But in Trinidad, we were shocked that Hardfet won.
Really? Why? You weren't hearing it as much?
Because the song with Nyla and Skinny Fabulous was kind of like to the point of annoying because it was played so much.
And that was like what, third? I think that one was third.
I think that was second, actually.
Second? Oh, I thought it was the Destra was it?
I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, I know.
I remember quite a few persons crossed the stage with Nyla's song.
Okay. That's funny, and you realize a lot of the songs were duets. A lot of the runners-up. I think all of the runners-ups were duets. I think one was with Destra and Machel, and one was with...
Yes, yes.
Yeah, something like that. Uh-huh. Okay. So,
yes.
Tell me how you're
Marshall
enjoying
and
it.
Patrice.
Yes. Marshall and
And
Patrice,
Nyla and
yes.
Skinny.
Yes. So how you enjoying your sojourn? What's the weather like?
It's perfect actually. Not too hot, not too cold. It's perfect. But I can't wait to get home.
Yeah, no place like home. It's good. It's good that you're having good. Actually, it's kind of cooled off a bit down here because
Exactly.
it's been pretty hot. Oh my God, it's been really hot over the weekend. So I really couldn't complain. I tend to always complain when it rains, but for the last year or so, I've learned not to complain, or rather celebrate when it rains. So overnight, yesterday we were having all that rain. I was like, nice. Yeah, I was like, nice. Okay, rain. I can't complain. And it's cooled the place all the way down. So like when I came down here this morning, it was nice and cool.
I saw everybody commenting about the rain.
Yeah. Always good. Okay.
Amen.
We seem
Thank you. I cannot deal with the heat.
We seem like we have a delay. It's just weird, huh? I wonder why that is. Yeah, there seems to be a delay on your end. I'm trying to figure out. It's probably just the network. So, also, I was telling Azard yesterday. I don't know if you know that the core band got road match, and the song that got road match is called. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost. It's called Alias Road Match, right? And it was written by Smiley of Grandmasters. So the core did something really interesting this year. I was telling
Oh,
core,
really?
yeah. So the song is called Alias Road Match. It's like call me. You may as well call me Road Match. And my alias is Road Match, and the song got Road Match for real. But then we had the unfortunate story of the trailer.
Manifestation.
Yes. We had the unfortunate story of the trailer running off the road as they were about to go down to start the jamming, the New Vibes trailer, and we heard sadly some people got hurt. I really hope everyone is on the mend and it's nothing serious, because that was pretty scary when I saw the video.
Yeah, it honestly was. And I think that's probably one of the first things I saw when I got up that morning, the trailer going off the road. And I was so nervous that something serious would have happened. I'm just happy no one died.
Yes, thank God. And so I think what's probably gonna happen now is, and it's funny, this is something that I think probably some technical people know about, but you realize because we don't have any regulations about it. So I would not be surprised if we now will have regulations about, for example, usually when tractors pull those heavy trailers, the brakes and the brakes on the trailers and the brake lights are controlled by the tractor. So I think maybe what needs to be done now, it needs to be regulated that it needs to be regulated. For example, that going forward, all these tractors and trailers have to be rated to the point where all the brakes are supposed to be working, and probably the tail lights as well. Because what really happened was, if you have all that weight on a trailer, right, and you're going down a hill and you're putting all the braking load on the tractor rather than spreading it onto all that weight on the back, that huge payload on the trailer on the back. So that was what was causing it. That was what caused the problem. So I hope the authorities, I'm sure they're gonna have that sorted. I'm confident they're gonna have that sorted by December, because that was a very scary thing, and it could have
Agreed. I think I actually saw a statement.
Very scary thing, and it could have.
Agreed. I actually saw a statement from the tractor guy And he said he did warn them about what going downhill with the tractor would result in. He said he did warn them about
Yeah.
what's going downhill with the tractor would
Yep.
result in.
So I'm really hoping to get that sorted by December, so we really don't have that happening. I think everybody's gonna be on pins and needles now. Next Juve and so on, people are gonna be giving trailers a wide berth.
I don't think we have any hills that we use during our parade.
Yeah, that's a good thing. For the most part, yeah. That is true. So that's you're right. So that's part of the problem because there's that hill. It's that hill coming down from Long Point. You know where Valumat is in Charleston, right? You know where Valumat is? Yeah, so it's that hill.
Yes. I lived in Nevis for a little bit over a year.
Yeah, so the hill coming down by Valumat, it's that's kind of the problem. And I think we generally don't have them as bad here. We have a call. Let's take this call and see what the caller has on his mind. Caller, Island T, you're on. Okay. That person hung up. Okay, caller, you can always call back. I'm still waiting for Inoite Inanga. I don't know. It's 9:46. Not seeing him, but okay. Caller. Okay, looks as though the caller is gone. So, just for people wondering, coming up at 10 o'clock, we're not going to be bringing it, but I know that, Candy, I don't know if he shared it with you yet, but you know that there's going to be this PAM press conference coming up at 10 o'clock. I think that's going to be on YouTube.
Yes.
And also on
Yes, Azard
Facebook.
actually mentioned it earlier.
Yeah. Okay, we have a call. Caller, go right ahead.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Not the call is gone, I call your phone, feed them, and then I record in command telling me, must record my message. Well, I hang up the phone because I don't understand.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't make any sense.
And I wouldn't get them start out.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're hearing all kind of Nancy story about this incident. All kind of Nancy story. If I know something not working properly, are you going to drive it? Risk my life? If the driver know that there was a problem, he should have never attempt to drive it. Now he don't come to play himself. I can't say. I was not there. I only see pictures. Monday night I hear any problem with steering, So I asked, if the steering have a problem, what happened to the brakes? No parent I hear now talking about brakes. Larger man, all kind of story before you get it through. That's all I want to say.
Okay. Yeah, I did wonder why the tractor stayed off to the left, but I don't know. It could have been a safety move. So I'm assuming that caller is implying that there's more problems other than the brakes. But yeah, we're just gonna have to leave that until the authorities sort it out. Not going there. So yeah, so I was saying
because I think somebody was saying that if he went further downhill it would have been much worse of an accident. Because I think somebody was saying that if he went
yes, that probably the brakes sort of I see what you mean. Okay, folks, you're gonna have to bear with us. We have a little delay here. Candy is she's coming in via Zoom, and we have a little latency / delay issue. So sometimes when she doesn't hear me in perfect real time, she probably hears me a few seconds after, right, Candy? It's so funny looking at your face here. And it's like you're on Mars. You know what I mean? It's like you're on Mars. So I'm like, so Candy, what's the weather like in Mars? And then 15 minutes later, I get an answer. Oh,
because I'm trying not to cut you off as you speak. I know. Because of the latency.
I know. We have 2 more calls coming in. Caller. Okay, that one dropped out. Hopefully, we'll get one of those callers to call back. And please call. Okay, here we go. Island T, you're on.
Yeah, hello?
Hi.
Yeah, let me just make a quick input about that incident, man. My question to you will be, what type of braking system the tractors them use? Is it just regular brakes or air brakes?
Well, that's a good question. It's an agricultural tractor, so I'm not sure. It's an agricultural type tractor they're using, so I'm not sure if I've never heard air brake when those tractors are on. I've never heard air brakes, but I know the tractors that they use, which people usually call the big trucks, those tractors have air brakes, and the couplings for the brakes on the trailers, those are air brakes as well, because those are way more heavy duty as far as braking heavy loads. Back to the phone. Island T, you're on.
Hi, good morning.
Hey.
Much of the chatter surrounding the incident that happened on Juve morning is unfortunate. We all have a lot to say when things happen that speaks to how we think and how we feel and not the reality of the situation. One question I would have is, why was there the decision made to bring that band from the Mondo track? It's not a normal route. And coming off that hill is pretty dangerous on any given day for a trailer of that size. I would say this. Mr. Nathaniel Nisbet is a very experienced truck driver and large vehicle driver like that. And had we not had him behind the wheel that morning, it would have been much, much more unfortunate in possibly loss of lives. When you come off that hill, and I happened to be about 2 or 3 vehicles behind that truck, I did not know what had happened till someone was approaching my car to tell me, you have to turn around, you have to go back. And as I got to the edge of that hill, that's when I saw. And one of the things that I recognized is that further down that road, there were people barbecuing, tents, lots of people. And the band coming down the Island Main Road at the roundabout was just about to meet the roundabout, which means that truck would have went straight down that road and take a whole lot of lives with it into that roundabout. So I want to give him kudos for making the decision he made to get it into the ditch where it went, because he saved his life, the persons on the truck and trailer's life, and all those people that were waiting for the bands to come down further down that road. I say kudos to him. But please, people, stop trying to decide and castigate people for what you don't know. A lot of what you're talking about is what somebody tell you. You weren't there. You didn't see. God bless them. Have a good day.
Okay. Thanks, Tessa. Yeah. And we certainly.
Thank you so much for that.
Yes.
Yes, like I said, I saw a bunch of reports coming out, but the driver did give a statement.
We certainly prefer. We'll take some equipment damage over deaths, any injuries. We had some injuries, which it would have been nice if we didn't have those. But what happened is much better than the alternative Tessa just described. Island T, go right ahead.
Yeah, man. I think I got cut off. I wanted to make a small input, man, concerning the incident. From what I'm recollecting, it seems like the regular tractors, right? They're farm tractors, right? It doesn't seem like they have the air brake system. And what my input is, it seems like they might have to pull those tractors and put those tractors back to agriculture. That's just a small light moment, but really and truly, they have to get the vehicles that's employed, the air brake system. Like the tractor trailer trucks that carries the weight. They're designed. The braking system is air brakes because it's designed to brake for the weight that they carry behind. So if the carnivals gonna have these big equipment, heavy equipment with the bands. They're gonna have to maybe use the commercial trucks that has the air brake system. Those systems is designed to carry the weight, to brake for the weight that they're carrying. That's my small input, man, and I wish you guys the best going forward.
Yes.
But this incident they need to sort this out before the next carnival comes up. You're right about that.
Yeah.
That's my
I'm
input,
sure.
man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, great. I'm sure it will be though. And I now realize we are the only. Now that I think about it, Candy, we are the only island I know that actually uses the agricultural tractors. Even in Antigua, they use the trailer trucks. The fully enclosed trucks that they use to pull those trailers. St. Thomas, and then a place like St. Thomas, for example, it's a U.S. territory. It's heavily regulated, so I imagine there are probably regulations. Hey, whatever trailer you're gonna be pulling, the brakes have to be working, and maybe all the safety systems have to be working.
You're gonna be pulling.
Yep.
The brakes have to be working, and
Yeah. Candy?
Did you notice that the one of the callers said that that's not the route that they usually take? I think that also has to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, because then it brings that hill into
obviously
play.
they changed something for this carnival, and it was probably not for the better. But again, like you said, I'm thankful for the minor injuries and that it did not result in loss of life. So kudos to the tractor driver in that aspect.
And the thing that's different about Charlestown is that, especially Tessa talked about the vendors down by the roundabout, and that's true because I remember the afternoon before I drove down through town and I was thinking, man, a lot of the tents, you know how we have the tents here on the side of the road and stuff, and sometimes you think, why, these people set up really early. But it's a lot more cramped in Charlestown. And then when you get up there by the roundabout, and yeah, so it could have been a lot worse. Yeah. Candy? Candy, you're just making me laugh.
Are you referring to the roundabout by Value Mart?
Yes,
You mean that
yes,
roundabout?
yes.
Or the one in Charlestown?
Well, all of them. But I mean, I was just thinking, by the time you have all the tents and so set up, it gets pretty cramped, kind of, because everything is so close, especially down in Charlestown. But then you had those tents and so around the roundabout there by the gas station and Value Mart. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Candy?
Well, I think it's safe to
So
say
funny.
that he is running late and
Yes.
he's probably going to have to reschedule.
Yeah, I might have to
So-
reschedule him for tomorrow or something. Because, yeah. But, folks, I don't know did Azard send you the thing yet? Let me see if I have it.
Hopefully my audio is better tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, we have 2 minutes until 10.
Audio is better tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so, because I don't know what's going on with it. It's probably the network and all that stuff, and I still don't understand why you're not hearing me through the board. But anything is possible with this board, so.
And it's driving you nuts.
It is. Okay, so Azard said he was gonna send us the link for the press conference, so I guess I'm probably gonna have to watch that when I go home because I have Spin Cycle coming up at 10, so I'm gonna have to give that a look.
He did.
and-
Check the chat.
He did. Okay.
Spins like coming up at 10, so
Okay. So
He did. Check the chat.
okay. Okay. So Candy, I give you the wrap up duties.
What's your plan for Spin Cycle?
Well, I was gonna.
Yay!
I'm gonna maybe play those Antigua Roger Matt songs that just happened to all get 25 plays. What are the odds? And then take it from there. And I'll decide from there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll stay tuned for Spin Cycle then.
Okay. All right. So see you tomorrow.
But I want to say thank you guys for tuning in to Island Tea today. I must apologize again for the delay and what might be a little bit confusing to anybody that tuned in late. But thank you for sticking and staying with us. And we will meet you back here tomorrow for more Island Tea. Have a good one today, guys.
Have a good one today. And on behalf of Candy, all the way in Mars, see you guys tomorrow on Island Tea. Spin Cyclist X. I'm just waiting to see you laugh when I said Mars. Okay. Yeah, she finally heard that. Okay, Spin Cycle is next. See you tomorrow, Candy.
Fruta full of vitamin, real fruit juice, no full of vitamin.